hello there, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It's a gorgeous day here in Pennsylvania. And finally, the sun is out. I see the little buds of the trees. They're starting to come out. And I saw this morning really with happiness that my gooseberry bush is starting to have little leaves. And finally, we are getting spring. I'm just elated about it. I do feel a little under the weather today. I seem to be getting a little bit of a cold. But then again, last night we went to one of our very hardy friends. They decided that they were going to open their camper. They have one of those pop-up campers. And they were going to try it out here, right here on the river, even though they live not far from it. But it was a beautiful spot, and it's a very nice campground. And so they decided they're going to go camping there for a week. I mean, after all, we do live in a vacation spot here. So I don't know why some of us, including me, drive 5 and 6 hours somewhere else. But, it's always nice to change the scenery. But anyway, so they were there last night and they were opening up this pop-up camper. Now, I don't know if any of you have a pop-up camper, but I had never seen one of these, how that really works. And boy, it's a lot of work. I mean, you work for the camping thing. It's as much work as with a tent. Maybe a tent is even a little less because you put up the tent, throw in the sleeping bags, and that's about it. Well, they had to secure this and do that. And, well, we finally, like about 8 o'clock, it was already getting very cold, but we had a real nice fire. So that was the first time this year that Tom, my husband, and I, who we both love camping, had a sort of a cookout camp out. So that was kind of a fun thing. I seem to have had a little bit too much of the nice wine that they were serving, and so this morning I woke up with a stuffy nose and was, and I felt a little under the weather. And then I took my Kali Beach, my nose cleared up, and I took some warm water with lemon, and that helped my throat. And so now by 1 o'clock on showtime, I feel already a lot better. But so we were there in the freezing weather, probably one of the few people. Although next to that camper was a family with 2 children in a tent, and it was in the it was like 35 last night. So it's not exactly a heat wave, or it's not exactly warm. So I was wondering about these people there in a tent. I mean, I don't think so. Tom and I, we have a nice little van, a camper, and then we also have a travel trailer that when we go a little longer, we take that. We are not anymore the tent types. I don't think I would want to scrouch down there into a sleeping bag anymore. But it certainly is fun. And it is not for people and more people. I mean, the camp trailer and the camper that sell campers, I mean, they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they are more and more and more. So more people are doing that. And if you hear of what the airlines are doing, and if you hear of how crowded it is in many places, doing a camping trip might be just a ticket, and especially if you have animals like we have 3 little dogs, and we can always take them along, which is a big consideration for us. Talking about animals and pets, I've always been a proponent because flea season is starting to come along. As soon as the weather starts, these little creepy crawlers, they're coming out, and the ticks come out, and fleas come out, and our pets get inundated with it. And I always said, use dimaceous earth. Well, there's been some new studies and some new people that have tested that. And I must say, I do see the evidence. Dimaceous earth works on fleas and ticks because it's made up of little tiny crystal things. They are an earth that is pulverized, and then they are small little crystal sharp edges. And these edges go under the hard shell of fleas and also ticks, and they then destroy that little bug. Well, they have found that dogs and cats, if you sprinkle it in your house or even on the pet, they lick themselves and it gets into their system. And veterinarians have found that a lot of animals have gotten very sick from that. It can get into the digestive tract and do all kinds of havoc there because these sharp edges can destroy the digestive tract of our animals. So maybe dimaceous earth in large amounts may not be such a good idea to tell you to as a natural flea and tick deterrent. What we might want to do, and there they are, see?
He agrees with you.
He agrees with me totally. And now what I decided, I'm not going to give up dimaceous earth totally. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it into the carpet, into my couch and upholstery, rub it real well in there, and leave my animals out for a day. Like for instance, if we go for a camping trip, I do that before I go to the camping trip. And then it has time to get activated and get rid of maybe if there's a flea or if there are some ticks around. And when I come back, I'll just vacuum real quickly, vacuum it all up. And that way, there is not a lot of dimaceous earth around for my animals to lick up or to poison themselves with this. So if you agree with me on that, or if you have some thoughts on that, I would love to hear from you.
I have a comment about that.
Yes, please.
It seems to me that if you put it on the carpet and you walk on the carpet, it's going to tear the carpet from the very bottom. As you walk on it, it's going to mess it up. It's going to tear fibers off of it.
Well, it can, yes.
I would say that the only place that I would use it is outside on the dirt and on the grass, because they're not going to go in and lick from the dirt
Right.
that's right under the grass. This way it stays there.
Yeah.
And it works its way into the dirt, and it'll stop anything from maybe coming up. In the house, if I wanted to clean the house, I would use chemicals. I would go and get a balm, especially if I'm going away, and put it in the house and let it take care of it. And when I come back, just air it, and everything is fine. I don't know. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I'm not. You're totally right. Even though I am against chemicals at any cost, I really am. I even clean predominantly with baking soda and vinegar, which I really think works super. And I tell you a great thing about that for instead of Drano. I had a shower that the drain was clogged, and nothing that, I tried using hot water, I tried to clean it, take out hair or so on, and it just didn't work. And my husband kept saying, oh, well, we need Drano, we need Drano. I said, well, let me try this first. So what I did is I dumped down almost a half a box of baking soda into the drain. And I threw after it like about 3 cups of white vinegar. And it was like a volcano in there. I mean, it was bubbling and it was really working. After I left it for about an hour, I ran water and the drain was totally unclogged.
Wow.
It just really works great,
Yep.
especially on bathtubs and so on. Now, will it work as well on, let's say, a kitchen sink? Very likely, if there's not too much animal matter. Although baking soda and white wine vinegar is so explosive together that it cleans almost anything. And I do that also when I clean the bathroom. I sprinkle baking soda onto the sink. Then I take a sponge drenched in white wine vinegar and I go over it, and it works better than any other cleanser that I have ever tried. And I have dark brown appliances, I have dark brown sink and so on. So every water and everything is always to be seen there. So this works so well that I really would like to urge everybody. And it's totally environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
So
is there a difference between white vinegar and white wine vinegar?
yes, there is. And just use the cheaper white vinegar.
So are you saying white wine vinegar?
Yeah, no, white vinegar.
Okay.
You can buy in a gallon
Yeah.
bottle
Right.
for $1.50, or I don't know what
Right.
it was,
Yeah.
like $3.
Yeah. Kathy's using it in the washing machine all the time.
Absolutely, yes. It works great for whites.
Yep.
I used to always use Clorox. Well, I've gotten away from that completely.
Right.
Now I put in baking soda, vinegar, white vinegar, and a little bit of soap, just half the soap that I used to use, and it works miraculously. I mean, I like when I serve dinner to friends and I invite them to a dinner party. I have a white tablecloth and I have the silver and I have then all the nice stuff that we girls have, and not every one of my guests is always so very careful that there are no spots on the tablecloths. And I can't, I can't say, well, don't make any spots on the tablecloths, because that really would not be a good hostess. But often you don't get that out right away. But baking soda and white vinegar will always do the trick. Put it right away on the spot, like after everybody has left and you're cleaning off, put that on the spot, wet the spot a little bit, put baking soda on it. Afterwards, put a few drops of vinegar on top of it, let it sit for a while, throw the whole thing in the wash, and there will be no spots left. It's fantastic. It's one of the things, and I experimented with it for a while. And while we are on the vinegar thing, let me tell you about something for all you girls, so all some of the boys too. We are not only our pets have gotten fatter over the winter, we all have too. I have gained I 15, maybe even 20 pounds. I don't know. I don't even want to know, and I don't even want to tell anybody. But I have gained a considerable amount because this winter was long. And what do you think I did? I
Hmm.
cooked. I love to cook and I love to eat. So we ate really well this winter, but lots of it because I always cooked. There wasn't anything else to do. So I have found that diet doesn't really work for me because, and for my pets not either. And, my one pet, Teddy, I mean, he's such a chunky boy. He's so heavy that it's just out of proportion. And you can't really put them on a diet because he's always hungry, always hungry. And I've just tested him for diabetes, and it's so easy to do, by the way. Okay. What you can do is you can get a little kit, like the finger pit. You can buy it you can buy it at Walmart. $20 gives you a little kit, and it has a little lancet, and you just prick your finger and test yourself, because many times when we do get heavier like this, we also are borderline diabetic. Now, talking about vinegar, I have had a little bit higher blood sugar that I've noticed over the winter, and it was like 150, 160, but steady. And that's a little high. It should be 99 to 110. And if you are consistently 150, 160, that's really borderline diabetic. And so what I did is I drink in the morning, I drink warm water, and I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar, Brock, apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon. Depends, you can have a tablespoon or you can have a teaspoon. I would say if you don't like sour things, or if you're just start out with a teaspoon. I'm up to like 2 tablespoons because I love the sour. But so what I do is I sip that first thing in the morning, and then I make another one in the evening just before I go to bed. I sip that too. And I do not put maple syrup into it or any other sugar. Um, if you don't like that because it can get a little sour, there's another recipe that you can use, which is equally well. What both of these things will do, they will acidify your body a little bit more. And through that, you will shed some weight. The fat will sort of fat globules will accumulate in the lymphatic, and they will start, because the liver will not make as much fat once you're taking that, and your body is more acidified. So what you want the other recipe for that is lemon juice, half a lemon, or at least 20 drops of lemon, either cold or warm water, and then a quarter of a teaspoon of baking soda. It will bubble very much, but stirred real well. It's not as sour as the apple cider vinegar. And you will see that it does the same trick. It helps you eliminate much faster, and through that, you will lose some of the weight. Now, how do we make our pets lose weight? And that is one of the things I've been researching, and there really isn't much um, except exercise. And that is good for us too. So now that the weather is getting better, let's take our pets and let's go for nice long walks. Okay, because having too much weight is not a good thing. However, I don't know if any of you heard it. But a new research has shown that people who are prone to Alzheimer and dementia are much more often very skinny. So they're more on the underweight side. People that are more on maybe a little bit more portly. I'm not talking overweight here. I'm talking just having,
Chunky,
be rounded on everywhere a little
chunky.
bit more. Chunky. Yeah, like me. And um, they are not as often prone to Alzheimer and dementia. I found that was really an interesting study. They are looking into that study a little bit more to confirm it, but the first findings of that have been very encouraging. And they have also found that people when they are a little older, if they are a little bit more portly, they are often much more mentally alert. They are mentally more together. They remember better. I'm not talking Alzheimer here or dementia. I'm talking about this normal forgetting that we also have when some of the people that are in their 30s. But that is one of the things that a little more fat, because, and it stands to reason, just think, our body is made predominantly of water and fat. Those two things, our body is predominantly. Fat is energy, and water is what holds everything together and makes us pliable and moist and, not dried out or so on. So it stands to reason that you should have a little bit. And brain matter is predominantly fat, 90% fat. So if you starve your body of butter, eggs, olive oil, of the fats, you will see that your brain will also not be as active and cannot be as active. So to me, it makes sense that you would be more prone to Alzheimer and dementia if you eat less fat, if you're really on this fat less and fat-free diet. Okay?
So we never talked about how do you make pets drink that stuff?
Yeah, you don't. You don't. Unfortunately, lemon juice or that's really much more so for us humans.
Okay.
For the pets, apple cider vinegar, I don't know if they would really. I've tried, really, my poor pets, they go through a lot of stuff because I try everything on them. My little, you heard me talk about my little TC, my little black poodle, he's been having ear infections and this and that. He's always has something. And lately, the ear infection was gone. And then I touched his ear and he yelped again. I looked in his ear and it seemed like there was again a little bit more of an infection. So I said, you know what? We're going to use turmeric. And I put a little bit on a Q-tip and cleaned his ear out with a little Q-tip and a little olive oil. I cleaned his ear out. And then I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to give him a little bit turmeric in water and just let him, because whenever I hold a spoon in front of his face, he licks it off because he's such a good dog. He knows, okay, I'll take this little medicine. And he started to take the turmeric. I didn't see much improvement. The salicea that I gave him then right after really seemed to be doing much more. But it was not, I don't know. There hasn't been really any research. So if it affects animals, okay? It didn't seem to make that much of a difference to him. Apple cider vinegar, anything sour, you can try. Maybe if the pet will take it, if it's given in very small amounts, I don't think that there would be any harm in that. Large amounts, I definitely wouldn't do that because I don't know what it would do. And dogs and cats are very different in digestive system from us. They do not have the same digestive system as we have. So, you know, we can't, it doesn't affect them in the same way as us. I'm talking here more about us, of
Okay.
what we can do for ourselves.
So
But
the
also,
so the
yeah,
vinegar and the baking soda doesn't do anything for the sugar level, but
yes, it does.
because you lose weight, it does. Not because it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the acidity. And there's one homeopathic remedy that really works well for diabetic and also for diabetic pets, not just for us, but also for diabetic pets. And that is syzygium. Syzygium. It's Syzygium in 30C. And anybody who's pre-diabetic, you should get yourself a vial of that and take it and keep controlling, keep track of your blood sugar. Get one of those little measuring devices with the little control tapers in there. It doesn't hurt. And do it at least once or twice a week to see how your blood sugar is faring. Good idea. Good idea. Because especially when we get a little older, our blood sugar can really go haywire, either too high or too low. Too low blood sugar is even more dangerous than too high blood sugar, because our brain and our muscles and our entire system needs sugar, glucose, energy to work. If you have very low blood sugar, you will see that you get very apathetic and you will get you get tired very easily, and your memory isn't really that good because your brain needs sugar to work. So a little higher blood sugar, up to 170, is nothing to worry about once in a while. But if you are consistently 150, 160, even if you have not had food for several hours, then you should take the homeopathic remedy. And that again is Syzygium. I My blood sugar went from 150, 160 to 99, 100. After I eat, it's about 130, 140. Then I test it again after like 2 hours or 3 hours after I've eaten. It's 110, 115. And in the morning, it's like 99 to 100. And you can't get much better in your mid 70s. You
Yep.
know,
That's
there is just no way that you can get that any better.
right.
So if any of our listeners have a problem with that, I would suggest to try that because that really works well. One other thing that I would like to talk about is the new flu vaccines. Well, I don't know if you guys heard it, but I sure did. By the way, there is a fabulous website. Let me see where we have it. I wrote it down. It is, and I think I have the wrong, did I have the wrong one? No, it's naturalnews.com. Naturalnews.com has all kinds of tips on natural living, healthy living, green living. Some relate to pets, some relate to humans, but it's a good website to go to. I didn't make it. I wish I had, because it's a fabulous website. And they are talking about the flu shots. Now you see everywhere, you see the Walgreens and the Rite Aids, they have their little sandwich boards out there, flu shots here. Well, the FDA, the CDA, all of them have said that this year's flu shots could not treat the flu strains that were out there. And we have also found that the highest amount of mercury, which leads to Alzheimer and dementia, is in flu shots. So it's up to you if you want to take it. We don't. I do not, as my listeners know, and as you all know, I'm not for vaccination. I mean, the rabies vaccination, that's about it. For my pets, for me, I don't get a rabies shot, but I do take my homeopathic remedies for anything that ails me. So do not get a flu shot this year, or if you have gotten it, try not to get it again, because they don't have it together yet. Go to naturalnews.com and you can really read all about it. Another disturbing piece of news that I heard is now in Sweden, there are companies that are planting microchips into people under the skin in the wrist. And the reason for that is convenience for, listen to this, convenience for the people that work there. Now you can just wave your hand across the printer and the printer will print whatever. You can wave your hand and the door magically opens, and all kinds of nonsense like that. Well, I don't know about you. You know that America is there will be companies in America who will be riding that train right away, as they have with the pets and the microchips. But I really find that more of a invasion, A, of privacy, B, who knows what kind of information they will be able to obtain from you at all times. And thank God I am in my mid-70s. I don't have to live another 40 or 50 years. Hopefully not, because that will be the future, where government and corporations and insurance companies will be monitoring you by microchip everything that you do, and I don't know if any of you read Aldous Huxley, Brave New World, but it's here. It's here. So I thought that was very interesting that they are doing this already in Sweden, which is one of the most liberal countries of any countries that I know. Okay, it's just really sad that people will let them do that. I wouldn't. But
Yeah.
then the jury is out on that. And I would love to hear from our listeners what their viewpoints are on that. If you would have your company plant a microchip into your arm, and how many of you have microchipped their animals? Um, I mean, I wouldn't do that either. I find the good old dog tag that I check at least once a week, if it's securely on still, works a lot better than those microchips. But hey, again, thank God we have a diverse world that everybody can do as they wish. Now, one last thing I would like to talk about is for those gals out there who have been purchasing face creams by every month another one, or every 2 months another one, always being disappointed, always thinking of, well, this one will take care of those little wrinkles and those little lines. And any of you who have been with me from the beginning and see my face, you probably have noticed that I never really had a lot of wrinkles, but you have probably noticed that my skin is even smoother than it was before. And that is not because I have Botox injections or any other kind of injection. I did not even have a facelift. I did not have a nip and tuck. None of this. What I am having is I created a cream, and it's called My Secret. And this cream is made exactly to my specifications. And we make it here. I have a little clinic here and a little where I can manufacture that. And if any of you are interested in having a cream made exactly to their needs, and it's very affordable, please go to my website. There's a link that will get you to the beauty group, the beautygroup.org, or send me an email at mylife-mywill at live.com. And I will send you the link, not only that, and also the particulars about the cream. Uh, I have used it now with all of my clients. They have been, in fact, I've been doing this for quite some time for my clients, but they all love it because now they have one cream that is exactly to their needs. If you have lines and wrinkles, it will remove them. If you have dark pigmentation, we can remove them. If you have the frown line in the middle of your forehead there, I can put an ingredient in there that is a topical Botox so that you can't frown really anymore, that it inhibits that. Just like a Botox injection, only it is not poisonous and it does not harm your body. And it's a lot cheaper. So if you're interested, please let me know. And like I said, on my website, my life-mywill.org, you can find a link to the beauty group. That is my clinic, and that's where we control it. There are about 10 or 15 people right now who are using each their own cream, and they are just as happy as they can be about it. Pets, again, feed your pets raw if possible, at all. If it's a very small pet, if it's a very large dog, it can get very expensive to feed them raw. Here's a trick that you can do. If you have a large dog that eats, a big bowl full, buy a very good quality dry dog food, a very good quality. And then go to your butcher and ask him for all of the meats, all of the stuff that it can have little bone things in there. That's okay. A little gristle. Ask him if you can buy that or if maybe they even give it to you. My butcher here knows me already. I come in and he'll say, okay, I have a little bag for you, and he'll give me some of that. But if you have a large dog, that's really critical. If your butcher does not give you that, buy some tripe, cut it real small, buy a little bit inexpensive ground meat. The one that is like for 80% or something like that. Nothing 90% that costs $4.99 a pound, but maybe around $3. And then mix a large tablespoon of that with a tripe into the dry dog food. Put a little water into it so that it all mixes real well. You'll see your dog will be a lot better off. Do not feed the canned dog food. Most of that, if you look on the label, is not really good for anybody, really. And feeding, as I have said many times before, feeding your dog grains and blueberries and what have you, all that is all in these dog foods, is not really appropriate for your dog. So I really wish you well. I hope you have a fabulous Sunday. I will be going out there and exercising my horse and groom him. They all look terrible from the winter, but we have to start, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day. So enjoy, and I hope to see you and hear from you. Come on, guys. Let me know what you think. I have given you so many times subjects where to think about. I love to get a little feedback, but it's a pleasure. Hope that you tune in next Sunday again. I will have different topics. If you like more topics about humans, tell me. If you want more of only pets, fine, I can do that too. But as long as I don't hear from you, you're going to have to put up with whatever rant I have for that day. So let me know.
It's all good stuff.
All right. I really care for all of you. God bless you. And I hope, like I said, happy spring. Bye for now.
Have a good week. Bye bye.
Same to you.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCBVI members, The Tanya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.